Happy Thursday, everybody. Today I wanted to tell a story about me and my cousin Greg. I think we're about 17 or so when this happened. So let's say about 19 years ago. And I was working at Super Food Mart. You guys probably don't even know what this place is, but there's Big Y and there was Food Mart in this area. And they kind of competed. Grocery stores like Stop and Shop now with Big Y. So there was a Food Mart and I was working there and I was cashier, I was lead bagger. I don't even know if that's even a position. And I also had to get the carriages. So one day my cousin said, let's go to Hampton Beach, which is this beach in New Hampshire. It's about, 2.5, 3 hours from here or so. But they have this huge boardwalk that has video games, and I'd probably get a tattoo on the street, or I don't know. But he was really big into nunchucks at the time. My cousin is a stuntman right now, works on a lot of movies and such. So we decided to drive to New Hampshire in his Ford Explorer, a green Ford Explorer, in the middle of the night. So it was like 7, 8 o'clock. I think it was like that. It was probably... Maybe we left at 6, maybe we left at 7, and we didn't get there till like maybe 10 o'clock at night. And we might have walked the boardwalk, but I think we just got food. And then we probably each had $50 to our name because we were young and we didn't have much money. So we needed a place to stay, but we didn't really book anything in advance because we were young. So we drove, and then we ended up sleeping in his Ford Explorer that night. It was probably like a Friday night. So I own a Ford Explorer now, so you can fold the seats down and stuff and make the back kind of like the, probably a little bit smaller than like a queen size bed. So it wasn't much room back there, but we slept there. And then the next day we just walked the boardwalk. I don't think we hung out on the beach too much, but we were big into like mini golf and video games back then. So this was something we wanted to do. It was kind of spur of the moment. Hey, let's go to Hampton Beach. So we went, and he was big into nunchucks, like I said, because he was working at Six Flags. He was working on the Batman Stunt Spectacular, which is another story that I will tell later. So he was working. They don't have this show anymore at Six Flags, but he was working there with his brother Bobby. And so we're walking the streets, and we run into these kids into this shop. We're looking for nunchucks for whatever reason, but they sell knives, and they probably don't sell guns, or maybe they do now. At Hampton Beach. So we run into these kids and they say, hey, there is this shooting gallery down there. So there's this shooting gallery that is all light sensitive. So you have to hit these little targets. And then once you hit those targets, something happens. Like the piano player will play and the bird will squawk and things like that. So these kids, they tell us that if you fire a flash at this big shooting gallery, there was probably 100 or so 150 animatronics, robots, things like that. Things that just, if you hit it with this gun, so you line it up like a regular gun, and then you use the sight or scope to hit these targets, they all go off. So they say if you fire a flash, like a camera flash, at these shooting galleries, at this shooting gallery, all of them will go off at once. So me and Greg, or is I and Greg? Me and Greg, Greg and I, Greg and I thought it would be hilarious because we were pretty much into like pranks and things like that at this age, as one is in high school and things like that. So we purchased a disposable camera that has a flash, because some of them didn't have a flash. This is pre-digital photography, digital cameras, things like that, iPhones and Samsungs and all of that. So we purchased a digital camera, probably part of our $50 that we each own or have at this point. We probably bought food for $5 or $10 at McDonald's, so we're down to 40. So we purchased a digital camera or disposable digital camera, and you had to hold the front of the digital camera and wait a few seconds for it to charge. So we spent all day just firing this flash at the shooting gallery from across the street and turning around and just cracking up, because once they all go off at once, it just makes this big monstrous noise. And so we had fun with that. And then we asked this bystander, or this girl, we said, hey, could you take a photo of us in front of the shooting gallery? We really like this shooting gallery. And so we both gave her the camera, we put the flash on and things like that. And there was this old lady that was running this thing. She ran it for probably 50 years, I don't know. She's since passed away a few years ago, maybe about 2 years ago. And sadly, this shooting gallery burned down. But we asked her to take a photo, and I have the photo right here. And basically when she hit the camera, took the picture, all of the things went off behind us, and we stood there basically posing. I'll probably get I don't even know if that will focus. I'll do so this is us in front of the shooting gallery, just ready to we're just cracking up because we think that this is so hysterical, as one would think at 16, 17. I mean, it is kind of funny today, but all these animatronics behind us, and you see this lady reaching for us, basically, and then she ends up yelling at the bystander and saying, or the girl, and saying, you can't fire a flash at these because it will trigger all of these animals. You see the piano player back there, and there's like a Tasmanian devil up here, and you know, just this noise that it made was hilarious to us, all going off at once. And she does not look, let's see if I can focus on her, she does not look happy with our actions. She looks very displeased with how we are sort of performing and being very immature. So that's my story of hanging out with my cousin Greg at Hampton Beach, what did I say, like 19 years ago or so, when we were very immature. And I apologize to the lady for doing this, but it gave us countless hours of hilarity. And we ended up staying at Hampton Beach like all day, just doing this across the street, turning around, cracking up, these loud noises. Just, oh, it was so much fun. So that was my story of Hampton Beach with my cousin Greg. And sadly, the lady passed away, like I said, about 2 years ago. I paid my respect to this area, and then the shooting gallery did burn down. I haven't been back since 2 years ago, and that was the first time I had been back in like 19 years. So it was cool to see the shooting gallery there when I showed up. I try to find a video for you guys to see if I can show you what the shooting gallery is like, but I think they have a shooting gallery like this at Disney World if you were looking to see what this was like. And that's my Hampton Beach story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Peace. So I was actually able to find somebody who did this prank in 2009. I'm going to show you, just for example, of what happens when you fire a flash at the shooting gallery at Hampton Beach. Let me play this.
No flash. Wasn't me. Just go right now and walk away. Just hold on. Let's get a picture. Yes, show me. I had no flash, so it wasn't me.
That video was from Christian Frasca. Frasca. Published August 2nd, 2009. 6,844 views. Look up shooting gallery prank at Hampton Beach and give him a like for that. So that's sort of what happens when you hit a flash. The shooting gallery, just they all go off. And if I can link the video, I will link the video. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.